McHale who gets the catch. He's got patrol. Howdy everybody and welcome to St. Croix Valley Rec Center, home to the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Tonight, your Huskies are in town to take on Mahtomedi. Alongside Corey Franzmeyer, I'm Jeb Brand. Glad to have you with us.
Yeah, it should be a great game here tonight here, Jeb. We've got the home team Mahtomedi and Owatonna traveling from southern Minnesota. A couple teams that don't see each other often, so it should be entertaining to see here.
Absolutely. We take a look at the Big Nine standings in which the Huskies from Owatonna play out of 7-3-2 thus far.
Yeah, they've got a great conference record. Overall, you know, they're about 500, but, you know, they're very competitive, and they should give Mahtomedi a nice test this evening.
And on the other side, your Zephyrs playing out of the Metro East standings, off to a fantastic start this season. 7-3-1 in the conference and a nice overall record of 14-6-1 thus far.
Yep, they've got a great overall record and one of the best teams in Class A, so it should be, like I said, they're definitely the favorite tonight.
And we take a look at the Let's Play Hockey rankings, where the Zephyrs from Mahtomedi come in at second place behind the ever-so-favorite Hermantown Hawks.
Yeah, they've been up there in the top 5 all season long. You know, they play a lot of AA schools here, so, you know, a lot of times once it gets into section playoffs and state tournament, they're always one of the favorites by playing higher competition throughout the year.
As we look at the QRF rankings as well, they come in at number 2, again behind Hermantown, but St. Cloud Cathedral, who had an opportunity to play on Hockey Day, Minnesota this year, right behind them at 3. We take a look at a couple of key players to keep an eye on tonight for the Huskies. The senior, number 5, Tyler Wenzel.
Yeah, having a great year, 13 goals on the season. He should be definitely a player to watch here, and he should have a lot of opportunities to score some goals here this evening.
And for Mahtomedi on the other side, just a sophomore, number 9, Nikolai Dulak.
Yeah, young, talented player there, and, you know, evenly matched. He's got good scoring skills, and, you know, he's also got a knack to distribute the puck around to his teammates.
As we take a look at the netminders for the Huskies, they will lean on the senior Ryan Johnson tonight. They've got 3 goaltenders on the squad. As we are underway, Mahtomedi will take the opening draw. They'll send it in deep into the corner. And it's picked up there by Bartholomew as he kicks it underneath. Down and around, Weiss sends it up the half wall out to center, and it's flipped right back in. And the Mahtomedi forecheck will get underway.
Yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to see here, Jeb, tonight. You know, Owatonna you know, about an hour or so drive, I suppose, from the south. You know, a full day of school and getting on the bus and heading up to the, you know, metro area, you know, to see if they got their legs under them tonight and are ready to go for this game.
We'll see if the bus legs, as they like to refer to it in the business, come into play, as Owatonna will get the puck in deep and try to set up their forecheck. Picked back down into the corner here. Broughton around his net. He'll swing it up the half wall where it's taken there by Paradise. Now Mahtomedi trying to break out as it's sent back over to Broughton. He'll head man the puck up front. Tommy Paradise tried to center. A good defensive play by the Huskies.
That was a great defensive play there by the senior defenseman, Walker Nelson, number 22 there in your score sheet. You know, fantastic. He broke up that play, and, you know, that's what it's going to take tonight here to compete with the Zephyrs.
Mahtomedi here trying to register that first shot on net, as are the Huskies. And up through center, they'll dump it in. Trickles in, back around the other way as Tommy Broughton headmans now. And Pilarski all the way across ice. Opportunity here, and another nice defensive stand by Owatonna as Hagstrom for the Zephyrs had a good look.
Yeah, that was a great play by Mason Olin. And, you know, on the previous play there by number 22, Walker Nelson, making that great diving play, he gambled there on trying to steal the puck, and he almost got burnt by, you know, having Mahtomedi create a great scoring opportunity.
Zephyrs bring it in. It's kicked back out to center ice, and that's where they'll regroup. Now they come in. 3-on-2 chance here at Owatonna. Does a nice job clogging up the center of the ice. That one sneaks out. Mahtomedi will have to touch up. Back behind his own net now is DeHaan. He'll play it up through center. It's tipped there and right back in. DeHaan now intercepts, tries to get it deep. It's turned over at the blue line. Back the other way comes McCarver for the Zephyrs. McCarver with a shot just high. A good looking opportunity there, but failed to hit the net.
Yeah, that was a fantastic opportunity here. And, you know, so far early in this matchup, 3 minutes into it, you know, the Huskies are on their heels. Mahtomedi is creating a lot of scoring opportunities.
Good look there, and the rebound nearly bopped in by Nice. So good chance there, but the netminder, Johnson for Owatonna. Again here smothers this one. We get our first stoppage in play with 13:48 left to play here in this first period. We mentioned Ryan Johnson, the goaltender for the Huskies on the other end. Josh Campbell, the senior for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs tonight. Yeah,
6-2 on the season. He's got a 1.87 goals against average, so he's definitely a tough cookie to score on here, and that's for Mahtomedi tonight.
Zephyrs continue to put on the forecheck here in the offensive zone. It's out through center. It's turned around there by Ide. He gets it deep. And in to give chase is Cullen Guzzo. He's turned over there. Now Henderson up the half wall, back to center. And Pearson will send it right back in for Mahtomedi. Kicked around onto the half boards now. Huskies looking to break out. They come through center, unable to get it deep. It's turned over again. Now Pearson sends it down low. Sam Ide picks it up for Mahtomedi. Down behind his own net now is Aiden Pearson as he reverses over to Ide. Far side, nearly picked off. Instead, it's an opportunity for the Zephyrs. In all alone, able to get it through him, but unable to capitalize is Neal with the shot. And Johnson got lucky that one trickled into the corner. Yeah, that was a great save by Johnson there, but that was the second time in a row there. The senior defenseman, Walker Nelson, chose to try to jump the pass route, if you will. And, you know, created a great opportunity there for Mahtomedi's score. You know, it's going to be a long night if the defensemen here for Owatonna are going to try to pick the pocket here and allow Mahtomedi to have those 2-on-1 breakaways. A good couple of scoring chances here for the hometown crowd as Owatonna now trying to mount a little bit of offense here. They've had a hard time getting just into the offensive zone. Again, it's turned over, and Mahtomedi goes back to work in the corner. Bartholomew helps steps in, comes out of the corner, unable to get to the net. It trickles all the way back. Now on the half wall, Bartholomew again sends it down low. As Paradise works with him. Tried to center, it was picked off that time by Oland. And sent up right back down into the corner, and now finally taken through center ice by Owatonna's Tyler Wenzel.
Yeah, that's about the only time they've been able to get the puck in Mahtomedi's zone, is just enough to kind of dump it in there and change the line. They have not really mustered any real scoring chances yet this evening.
Shot there went just wide, as now the Huskies got a little bit of offensive pressure. As into the corner is Broughton for Mahtomedi. He'll send it over. It's picked off there, but then again turned back over. Noah Skillings picks it up for Mahtomedi. Out through center. And they'll get it deep. Zephyrs will change. Now the Huskies through center. This is Thurmew, and he has it turned over at the blue line. Mahtomedi with another odd man rush just off the stick of Corey Pilarski. Centered out front, wide. Pilarski hard out of the corner. And a nice job of Ryan Johnson getting over to the far post and covering up for stoppage and play.
You know, Mahtomedi has not been able to capitalize yet here, but they've had a lot of great opportunities. You know, they just keep plugging away and working hard here. You know, they're going to end up putting the puck in the back of the net here eventually.
Face-off is won by the Zephyrs. Into the corner initially was Paradise. Tried to send it back out. Top of the circle now. That shot is blocked out front by Henderson. And puck trickles into the corner. And now the captain for Owatonna tried to headman. Nate Smith unable to come up with it. Pilarski's met there at the blue line. Mahtomedi will regroup in the neutral zone. Sent D to D. Connor Stoker takes it through center. He'll get it deep. Again, the Zephyrs come off. That one rang the near side post. So Ryan Johnson again, a little bit of puck luck early on. 10 minutes left to play, opening period. It's been all Zephyrs thus far. As another odd man rush. Good opportunity there. Johnson was able to get a piece of it.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting play there where, you know, who was that? Hagstrom being the unselfish player, but I think he actually had the better look at the shot on net on that one.
Owatonna now tried to go back the other way. It's picked off. A shot right on. Johnson again comes up big. The Huskies are forced to send it the length of the ice. That'll call for an icing. 9:24 left to play, opening period. Alongside Corey Franzmeyer, I'm Jeff Brand. I want to thank you for joining us tonight at SCC Sports. The Owatonna Huskies travel north to take on your Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Brought to you live here from the St. Croix Rec Center in Stillwater, Minnesota. Wide of the net, back the other way comes Wenzel. He headmans now. Stojkovic in deep, takes it into the corner, and that's going to put the Zephyrs on the penalty kill. As maybe a roughing or a boarding will be the call. Tough break there as Jacob Stojkovic goes into the corner pretty hard.
Yeah, I think it was a cross check there, but a lot of it, Stojkovic lost his balance there. So it wasn't, you know, a dirty hit. It just happened to be kind of, you know, way the play, you know, it was unfortunate the way the play ended there. But yeah, Jeff, as we were talking there, the shots are 7-2 here, and Owatonna's got an opportunity here to, with the man advantage. They're gonna have to, you know, challenge the goaltender Campbell a little bit and get him on his heels a bit, because the two shots that he's seen, you know, have more or less just been kind of almost, you know, puck clearings that have, you know, hit the net than they are about great scoring opportunities. So this is definitely a big opportunity for Owatonna here to you know, challenge Mahtomedi and force them to play a little defense here.
Stojkovic is still down now, helped off by a couple of teammates. Boarding was the call from the official, as we've seen the symbol to the penalty box. So With 9:08 left to play, first period, you talk about it, Corey. The Huskies are going to have a 5-minute power play. A good opportunity here for the road team to gain some momentum, try to register some good quality shots, and maybe even go into this first period with a potential lead.
Yeah, even just to build some confidence, put some shots on net and, play a little offense, because, for 8 minutes of the game now, they've been on their heels and just doing whatever they can to prevent scoring chances by Mahtomedi.
As the Huskies now look to set up their power play, Wenzel from the corner tries to get it deep. It's deflected all the way down. Now Wenzel. They'll circle around. Leave it up at the top. Back door, and they score! Nice looking play. Just like we talked about, the Huskies strike first with the man advantage. And it's by number 6, Colin Peterson, sitting on the back doorstep and able to punch her home.
Yeah, great job. First opportunity they get, and they strike. The sophomore forward, Colin Peterson. Great pass there by number 12, Mitchell Weiss, and Peterson just sniped him. I mean, that was, there ain't a whole lot you can do on Campbell's end, especially when you haven't seen much so far. And the first shot you do see is just a fantastic pass and shot there by Owatonna.
So the Huskies jump out to the early 1-0 lead. They'll remain on the power play for another 4 minutes and 10 seconds due to the boarding penalty that was called on Mahtomedi. Big swing of emotion here. As a good showing, obviously, by the Owatonna fan base, traveling as far as they had to. Now another chance here is sent wide by Wenzel. Sent into the corner as Mahtomedi is able to clear the length of the ice and get some new penalty killers on. Johnson will play it up to Wenzel. Across through center. Wenzel makes his way in. Up front, and a good shot there. Hit the knob of the stick of Campbell. Now Wenzel from the corner tries to center. He had Nate Smith. And Smith will send it in. Now into the corner. Wenzel again is knocked down. Smith picks it up. Give it back to Wenzel. Shot there, hit the side of the net. Unable to clear. It's Mahtomedi. Now that puck just squirts out. A fortunate break for the Zephyrs. Wenzel will pick it up on the half wall now. Making a move and shot right on. Campbell with the save. Wenzel tries to center, and into the corner now is Kubicek. Loses it there. 2-on-1 now for the Zephyrs. Lallier over and just out of the reach of McCarver. A good opportunity shorthanded. Just hit the end of the blade of McCarver. Big hit near side now. As McCarver came in, and inside, McCarver is stopped. Huge save by Ryan Johnson. Centered out front. Now it trickles into the corner.
Yeah, not only was that a great save there by Johnson, but his defensemen were there quick to get that puck out of the way, because it was just sitting wide open for a tap-in goal. So great job on the goaltender and a great job on the defenseman to get there quickly and have their goaltenders back.
Nice kill there as Lallier is able to chew off some valuable time. 2 minutes remain now in the Husky power play. 6 left to go in this opening period. 1-0, Owatonna leads it. As on a goal by Colin Peterson as Owatonna tries to go back to work. Now back the other way. It's sent in deep by Mahtomedi's Dulac, excuse me. And back the other way come the Huskies. Across center, the senior will put it onto the stick of Smith. Inside, just out of the reach as that one trickles into the corner. As Meyer goes to work. Now sent out all the way, and Smith had a hard time holding on to that one as it bounced off his stick. Into the corner, he's tied up there by Skillings. 10 seconds remain in the Husky power play. And Mahtomedi able now to clear the zone. Opportunity here, 2-on-1 as Bartholomew tried to center, and it was just out of the reach. Bartholomew takes it over, tries to go back door, and Dulac with a great opportunity. But Johnson again is there to make the save.
Yeah, that's a couple, the last two scoring chances there by Mahtomedi have both been stopped by two great saves by Ryan Johnson. As you can see here, great job. 9 shots saved so far here in the first period, and with the fact that Colin Peterson, the one goal that he's got here, that is actually his first goal of the season there. So great time for him to get that first one of the year there, Jeb.
Face-off will come to the right of Johnson. It's won by the Huskies down into the corner, as they will remain on the power play here for 40 more seconds after the 5-minute boarding penalty. Now side of the net, that one's kicked around a bit, as Lallier was there for Mahtomedi. Out through center and sent back in, where Weiss will pick it up for the Huskies. Now the Huskies break through center. They get it deep. Down into the corner it goes. Wenzel on the half wall will pick it up. It squirts out front, and chance there is deflected off the defender for the Zephyrs. It trickles all the way back down, and now Peterson, the goal scorer, sends it the length of the ice, but this one will go for an icing against Owatonna. The face-off will come to the right of Ryan Johnson.
Yep, now Mahtomedi, they're back even strength here, so it'll be interesting to see now that they're back 5-on-5 if they kind of take control back of the pace of play that they had the first 7 to 8 minutes of the period.
Face-off won by the Zephyrs all the way back. It's sent into the corner. Guzzo tries to keep it down low. As both teams battle, it's picked up by Neal. Left there, tipped out front. A good-looking tip there by Jensen. But Johnson able to make the save. Now through center come the Huskies. Just out of the reach of the big man, Kenny Johnson. Back the other way are the Zephyrs. An opportunity! And just off of the end of his blade. He had Johnson beat, but couldn't get it to go. Some good action back and forth here as we close in on the final 3 minutes of this opening period.
Yeah, the shots on goal are 10-4 Owatonna, but Owatonna's been able to get the one goal there with only 4 opportunities. So they've been able to be a little more opportunistic than Mahtomedi so far here tonight.
A couple of close calls for the Zephyrs, just unable to capitalize thus far. As they come right back at it, a good step up there by the Owatonna defense. Leads to another opportunity, but unable to hit the net that time was Tommy Paradise. And another close call for Johnson. He's now out of the corner. It's turned over. Back the other way comes Thurnau. And now Mahtomedi will send it right back in. Connor Stoker is back to play it. On the half wall come the Huskies. And right away again, Stoker will send it back in. DeHaan plays it up the wall and out through center, and that one's just off of the stick of Thurnau. It'll go for another Owatonna icing. Face-off will come to the left of Ryan Johnson. And you know, other than the, as you would say, the opportunistic goal by Colin Peterson, the Huskies have had a hard time just breaking out of their zone.
They have, you know, and it's been the combination, you know, Mahtomedi and their speed. They definitely have, you know, you can see, you know, the better goal scorers, and they have a little more speed. But on the defensive end, the Huskies, you know, Ryan Johnson has done a great job in net, and his defensemen have been right there for him. So, you know, those rebound opportunities just haven't been there for Mahtomedi on their great scoring opportunities.
Bartholomew now top of the circle as he floats one in. Johnson able to make the save. The whistle blew as the puck trickled out through the goal crease. We get another stoppage in play. 1:45 left to go in the opening period. Owatonna leads it by a score of 1-0, having only registered 4 shots thus far. Faceoffs won by the Huskies. It's sent down and around. And Nate Smith will pick it up on the half wall. Out through center, Peterson now has it turned over. As Pearson now tried to send it, and that one's deflected. Into the zone, bouncing puck. That one trickles in on Campbell. He's able to steer it aside. And now another opportunity there for the Huskies as Smith was right on the doorstep. Mahtomedi back the other way, trickles through and they score. The rebound goal, and Mahtomedi ties it. We're all squared at 1-1 here with just over a minute left in the opening period. And it's Sam Ide able to tap in the rebound for the Zephyrs.
Yeah, that's Sam Ide's 9th goal of the season here. And, you know, that was a great rebound goal there by Sam Ide on you know, on almost like a fast break transition goal there. I mean, Owatonna just had a great scoring opportunity that was stuffed there by Campbell, and the goal coast to coast and have Mahtomedi bury one in the back of the net. That's a tough break.
Now the other way, an opportunity here is Thurnau with speed, but he's met there by Broughton for Mahtomedi as the Zephyrs come away with it. They try to go cross ice. It's picked off there and sent back into the corner where Noah Skillings will play it down and around. Now Mahtomedi out of their own end as Skillings gains the zone. Handed off there, back door, nearly dropped it in the backside. Again, Johnson is bailed out by the iron as Tommy Broughton had Ryan Johnson beat, but unable to get it to go. Another rebound opportunity here, and Johnson comes up with the big save.
Yeah, that's the last thing Owatonna needs here is to, you know, have that 1-0 lead. You know, have Mahtomedi score one late here and not only score one, but score two. So, you know, they're hoping they can get out of the last 17 seconds here with a 1-1 tie going into the locker rooms.
The final 15 seconds. Here's it sent around. Nate Smith tries to play it through center. And now Henderson will get it deep. On the half wall, it squirts out. The Zephyrs able to pick it up there. Final seconds are going to tick off here. And that'll do it for our first period. An exciting one at that. Owatonna jumps out to the early 1-0 lead on a goal by Colin Peterson. But Mahtomedi, after some good hard work, ends up tapping in the rebound on a goal by the captain, Sam Ide. And we're all squared away 1-1 after one.
No, it's kind of fun to see a game that's 1-1 here of a couple teams that don't play each other often. And, you know, like we were touching on earlier, the fact that Mahtomedi has some skilled skaters, some skilled goal scorers, you know, and Owatonna was kind of forced to play back on their heels, you know, rely on some great goaltending by Ryan Johnson and some, you know, great defensive help by his defensemen, you know, guys like Walker Nelson and Breck Henderson there. And, you know, like I said, it's been fun to watch, you know, like I said, the difference in styles, and, you know, it should be pretty entertaining here going forward the rest of the evening.
So stay tuned. After one, it's all squared away at one. Coming up next, we've got our Athletes of the Week. We'll see you shortly.
All right, for my male athlete of the week, I have to go with junior guard from North St. Paul, who we interviewed, Dajuan Carter. He had 24 points against the Zephyrs in the game we had showed you earlier, as I just said, and hitting three-pointers from all over the court. I think we showed at least 3 or 4 of them. This kid was on fire. He will be a crucial piece for Damian Johnson-led Polars, and as he said, Coach said he was a very big surprise coming into this year. Now, for female athlete of the week, I have to go with Mahtomedi player, 8th grader, I repeat, just an 8th grader, Allie Franco. She had 4 goals in a 9-2 win over North Shore last weekend to go along with 4 goals. She had 2 assists. It's not too often that a high school player has a 6-point game, and she isn't even in high school yet. This woman is going to be amazing by the time she is a senior at Mahtomedi, and she's going to have a fun 4 years at Mahtomedi. That's it for my Athletes of the Week, folks.
Yeah, welcome back to the St. Croix Valley Rec Center. We're all tied at 1 between the Owatonna Huskies and your Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Alongside Corey Franzmeyer, I'm Jeff Brand. As we take a look at the upcoming Owatonna boys hockey schedule, they will travel down to Rochester Century next.
Yeah, you know, that's a little less travel there, Rochester, and they get to host South St. Paul, Mankato, and then finish with Winona. But they've been up in this neck of the woods this season. They came up to Cottage Grove and played Eastridge, and they were up in North St. Paul to take on the Polars, one of the Mahtomedi rivals.
A lot of travel for the Huskies. Again, it's not something that you and I are so much accustomed to. Back in our high school playing days, I'm not sure that the Huskies program was around, and if they were, they certainly were not traveling the distance that they have here over the last couple of years. So good to see some expansion as far as their travel goes, get to play some different teams and see some different parts of the city.
And I think you're just kind of forced to do that with the fact of more organizations going co-op and different things like that, that you've got to travel a little more because three areas that used to be a team, you know, a lot of them might just be one team now, so they got to travel a little farther.
As we take a look at the Zephyrs' upcoming schedule, as they will also hit the road and travel north, and they'll take on St. Cloud Cathedral next, coming up here on the 10th.
Yeah, St. Cloud Cathedral is one of the better teams there in the state. They're ranked number 3 in the state. Mahtomedi is number 2, so that's that could be a possible state tournament matchup, or maybe even a state tournament championship game that we'll see on Saturday.
And then they'll host Mounds View right back here at the St. Croix Valley Rec Center. And then later that week, they will travel over to Roseville to take on the Raiders.
And then we get into the exciting section playoffs, and then, you know, the state tournament in March. I mean, it's one of those most wonderful times of the year coming up here in the state of Minnesota with high school hockey. You know, it's sad that it comes to an end, but you know, it's that time where, you know, the cream rises to the top and we get to crown 4 state champions, you know, girls A and AA and boys A and AA, and, you know, it becomes an exciting time downtown St. Paul.
That it certainly does, and we're always excited down the stretch to see some fantastic section play, and then of course the state tournament should be a good one. And folks, we want to remind you to tune in on all of our social media, as we've got our Facebook and our Twitter, along with our Instagram and our YouTube accounts. You can find us at facebook.com/SCCTV. And with that being said, we're going to move it on over to our social media montage. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this.
All right, after all that scouring to start off the montage today, we go back to January 29th when the North Activities Twitter account tweeted a photo of their new head football coach. That's right, Gene Teiglin is his name, and last year he was head coach of the Academy Force. That's a name you're not familiar with. That is a co-op team between the New Life Academy, Bethany Academy, Mounds Park Academy, Twin Cities Academy, St. Croix Prep Academy, and lastly, Liberty Classical Academy. So you can see why they are called the Academy Force. He ended up growing that program, but decided to leave because a bit of a lack of numbers in the program. So we would like to give a big welcome to Coach Teiglin as he moves to North. Definitely a bigger school, going to have a lot of numbers there, and a good opportunity for Coach Teiglin.
Yeah, Liberty Classical. Let's take this one back, and we're going to go to girls basketball, where we have Mahtomedi girls, where Emma Grouthouse recently broke the school record in scoring. The record was broken during their February 2nd game against Tartan, where she scored 22 points to tip her over the edge. So congratulations to you for a fine career at Mahtomedi.
Yeah, not surprised by that. Figured she would probably be closing in on that number one of these days, so congrats to Emma Grouthouse. Now next, it looks like Brian Peliquin, the activities director over at White Bear Lake, was out to see an adapted floor hockey game where the White Bear Lake team came back in the final seconds of the game to win it 10-8. After starting the season 6-0, good to see that the team is still doing well. And of course, that activities director is spending time out to a variety of athletic events, and knowing Brian Peliquin the way we do around here, not surprised at all, and a nice job there by the floor hockey team.
Yeah, exactly right, Sam. But finally, we have a tweet. This one comes from me, myself, and I. Tweeted out a compliment to Damian Johnson after he coached North St. Paul to a win, 79-62 blowout over Hastings Raiders back on Monday. Damian went right ahead and gave all the credit to his team. We got an interview with Coach Johnson later on, the former Gopher, later in this show. He shares a little bit about his coaching style and a lot more.
Pretty special stuff there, John. Got on the social media montage yourself and got a response from the old ball coach.
Hey, I'm up to 40 followers.
Hey, we've been following some North basketball, so not surprised. Well, always a good time there with the social media montage. And remember, you can always tag us at SamSECTV or at JohnSECTV to make sure your tweet is included in the next show's montage. But for now, that is all we have on this edition of the social media montage.
And welcome back. Well, folks, we want to remind you about Sports Path you just seen there, brought to you by Johnny Miller and Sam Erickson. Every other Wednesday, the first and the third Wednesday of each month, we bring you Sports Path with all the great highlights following our fabulous 4 teams throughout, and all the good stuff that comes with all of our high school athletics. So after one, it's Owatonna Huskies 1 and the Mahtomedi Zephyrs 1. We will be back with our second period right after this.
Listen. All it took was someone who would insist that I just try.
Suddenly, everything was turned around because they judge you.
You tell them, I don't need this.
No one is going to understand.
Unless they've been through it, how can they?
Then one day you realize
You feel so hopeless.
I need help. I need help.
You feel so hopeless.
Then one day you realize
Unless they've been through it, how can they understand?
I don't need this.
No one's going to judge you.
suddenly everything was turned around because they insist that I just try.
All it took was someone who would just
Listen.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Let's do those pearly whites, man. Yeah! Good boys, check it, yeah.
Stand up, do my terrorists, go compare us.
Ooh, cute.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
Hey girl, what's up? What's the name? What's good? What's up?
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir. See ya, buddy.
Today, Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
And welcome back as we get set to start our second period here. 1-1 after one between the Huskies and the Zephyrs. We take a look at some first period highlights.
As you can see there's the great pass and goal score there by the sophomore Colin Peterson to get the early lead for Owatonna.
And Johnson was sharp for majority of that first period. It took a while, but eventually you can see a couple of missed chances by the Zephyrs, and eventually their hard work ends up paying off as the captain, Sam Ide, taps in the rebound, and that's where we sit after one. Shots on net, the Zephyrs 13, and the Huskies able to register 6, one of them being that opening goal. We take a look at some upcoming broadcast here for SCC Sports. We'll be covering both girls and boys basketball between the rivalry of the Tartan Titans, and the North St. Paul Polars.
Yeah, it's always kind of a fun one. Get to see the Tartan and North St. Paul boys and girls in the same night, the same gym, and usually it's a pretty good atmosphere, and always lives up to the rivalry of those two crosstown schools.
And then the boys hockey, where these Mahtomedi Zephyrs will travel over to Roseville to take on the Raiders. And then coming up towards the tail end of the month, we've got some more girls basketball. And then, like we talked about, the ever exciting Section 4 AA conference finals.
Yeah, you got to figure you'll see, we'll see our Tartan team, and we'll see North St. Paul in there, both having solid seasons. Hill Murray always a favorite, and White Bear Lake is having a fantastic season this year. So,
and you've seen at the bottom of the upcoming broadcast there, we have Sports Path every Monday and Wednesday, the first and third Wednesday of the month. We bring Sports Path to you. Again, we take a look at the Big 9 standings, where the Huskies from Owatonna play out of, and sit currently in 4th place in the Big 9 standings.
Yeah, and Owatonna takes on Rochester Century on Saturday, so that's definitely going to be a big conference test for them. Taking on Rochester there, and Northfield there's having a heck of a season as well. So, like I said, they play in no cupcake conference there. There's that top half are very good quality Minnesota high school hockey teams there.
And the Zephyrs, again, out of the Metro East standings, having a fantastic season. They are 7-3-1 in the conference, 14-6-1 overall.
And as we were saying about Tartan and North St. Paul, the crosstown rivals, both hockey teams, over the last few years have been mediocre, but they're both enjoying some success this year. Hill Murray, usually one of the powers, just a 500 team this year, so they're a little down. Mahtomedi is up. Our Tartan and North St. Paul teams are competitive, and White Bear Lake not in this conference, but they're one of the top 10 teams in the state, so should be fun locally for us, and I'm excited to see what late February into March brings.
Absolutely, it should be a good one as we get set to drop the puck here, the start of our second period, all knotted up at 1. And we'll see what adjustments both teams made as we are underway. It comes all the way back. Mahtomedi will look to regroup and break out of the zone. Cross ice now, Bartholomew, as he has it bounce off his stick. Back the other way comes Smith, and it's knocked down by Pearson there. Into the corner it goes, and now sent back around where Sam Ide picks it up, the goal scorer for the Zephyrs. Out through center now, and it rolls off the end of his stick. Turnover here, though. He's sent down, and Johnson's able to play it off into the corner. Now down behind the net is Paradise for Mahtomedi. He sends it low, but it's picked up there by Munns, and he sends it around just out of the reach of Meyer, and this will go for icing against Owatonna.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if, you know, Mahtomedi, with all them scoring chances in the first period, if it carries over here, and if those floodgates open up, you know, if those opportunities start becoming goals, or if Owatonna stays tough. Ryan Johnson in the net, and the defenseman there, and they keep this they keep him in the game.
Stojkovic now throws it down into the corner. And it's picked up there by Mahtomedi as they quickly break out through center. It's turned over. Now Nelson has it bounce off his stick. And we've got a penalty upcoming here. And it looks like, again, it'll go against the Zephyrs. This time it's Dallas Duxon, as he laid the big hit on Walker Nelson.
Yeah, and that's been the best you know, opportunities so far for Owatonna is when they've been on the power play. So, you know, if Mahtomedi continues to make you know, foolish mistakes here and there, and that's what keeps Owatonna in the game, you know, that's one of those things where the coaches gotta get in these guys' heads here and get them to think a little bit and play a little smarter here as the evening goes on.
Minor penalty assessed to Dallas Duxon. The Huskies will go back to work as Tyler Wenzel will take the draw for Owatonna. He wins it down into the corner, and that's where he'll pick it up and look to set up the power play right out front. The shot right on, and a big save by Campbell. The Zephyrs are able to clear it the length of the ice, but a good start on their second power play attempt. Now into the corner, the Huskies go. Turned it over there momentarily, but Smith sends it back. And now on the half wall, Wenzel fires. That one's never made it in on Campbell. Mahtomedi able to clear it back through center. Now this one just off the mark, and an icing's going to get called again on the Huskies. A little miscommunication there. Face-off will come to the right of Johnson.
Yeah, they still got a minute and 18 left here to create some scoring opportunity, but so far it's Mahtomedi's done a nice job of killing this penalty.
Huskies win the draw. As Weiss now down behind his own net. Sent around Mahtomedi, first to jump on it. Kicked all the way back out to center. And with speed, McCarver will send it all the way down where Johnson goes back to play it behind his net. Weiss will pick it up there through center onto the stick of Wenzel. And Wenzel will make his way into the corner. Sends it down and around where Smith will go back. Just unable to hold on to it was Mitchell Weiss. Turnover here now, an opportunity for Dulac. Dulac all alone. Didn't get the greatest of shots off. No call on the play. It looked like he might have been hooked momentarily. Nonetheless, it's a big save for Johnson, and we remain tied 1-1 here with 14 left to play.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of those deals there by Dulac there that I think a lot of it, you know, he just kind of ran out of ice. He ran out of ice. You know, he had a breakaway scoring opportunity.
And they score! The Zephyrs on the penalty kill. A little bit of a turnover there by Owatonna, and Bartholomew makes him pay as he goes to the backhand and is able to meet Johnson on a nice pass by Colin Hagstrom.
Yeah, there's just nothing. I mean, he just flat out beat the goaltender there. He just went in and a little fake there and a backhand goal, and Bartholomew will put it in the back of the net, and that could be the start of something here for Mahtomedi of capitalizing on scoring opportunities.
Short-handed goal for Bartholomew, and it was a nice feed by Hagstrom to find him back door. Caught the Husky defense off guard. And if you're the head coach, Josh Storm, that's a tough one to swallow. Is right back at it come the Zephyrs now. Full strength as Mahtomedi looks to go to work. They send it into the corner. 16 shots on net now for Mahtomedi, just 6 for Owatonna. A 2-1 lead for Mahtomedi as they try to center here. It's turned over. Myers unable to clear the zone. Picked up there now by Nelson as he turns it over. Mahtomedi will regroup. Broughton sends it up through center. No icing on the play. And Johnson looks to cover. Get some fresh skaters on the ice as both teams change. 13 minutes left to play, second period. Mahtomedi 2, Owatonna 1.
Yeah, that second goal there by Mahtomedi, Charlie Bartholomew, that was his 11th goal of the season. He's the second leading scorer for Mahtomedi behind Nikolai Dulak. So fantastic season Bartholomew is having, and he just adds to the old goal total here on a beautiful Thursday evening here in Stillwater.
Wenzel sends it around now just through center. Good defensive play there. No icing on the play, but Owatonna nearly sprung Stojakovic just out of the reach. Now they gain the zone. Stojakovic will center over to Wenzel. Wenzel on his backhand now. Tried to center, it's kicked around. Stojakovic unable to get to the front of the net there, and now Mahtomedi from the corner. Up the half wall, again turned over. Peterson will keep it in. Wenzel with a shot, and that went high and wide. Now unable to hold the zone. Huskies will have to change. And a regroup by Sam Jensen for Mahtomedi now. Jensen plays it through center. Big hit in front of the Owatonna bench. Flipped into the zone. Campbell will steer it into the corner. Sent down and around now, and on the half wall comes Guzzo. Neal now shot far side. It's Johnson steers her aside. Now right on, and Johnson will hold and cover. 11:35 left to play in the middle period. 2-1, the Zephyrs lead it.
Yeah, one thing that you know, you've mentioned Tyler Wenzel a few times here in the last few minutes for Owatonna. You know, he was one of our highlighted players here going into it, and we're just starting to hear his name. So, you know, he could be a goal scorer here for Owatonna. That might be heating up here halfway through the second period.
Now Munns takes it through center, gets it deep for the Huskies as Smith is in there as he goes to battle with Pearson. All the way back, it's held in nicely by Henderson. Tried to center there, Smith comes away with it. Now back down and around is Meyer in from the corner. As he tries to keep it low. Nice defensive play by Stoker for Mahtomedi. Sent down and around. Smith on the half wall, keep it low. Turned around the other way was Aiden Pearson for the Zephyrs. Now up the half wall. Mahtomedi comes ahead. Pilarski has it stripped off his stick. Huskies will fire one in. An easy save for Campbell as he holds on. Face-off will come to the left of netminder Josh Campbell.
Yeah, Campbell's done a good job this evening. You know, he's saw 7 shots and he's stopped 6 of them, and the one that was let in was just a great pass and shot there by Colin Peterson. So Campbell's been sturdy and steady here this evening, and he's been doing a great job.
Face-offs won by Mahtomedi. It's sent down and around from the half wall, tried to center. That was deflected back into the corner. Now Mahtomedi again will reverse. Broughton will play it up through center. And Dulak's the first man in. He's got some speed, just a sophomore. Centered now, shot right on, and a beautiful save by Johnson. As that had to kick out the right leg there. Huskies send her down. Icing will be the call. Just over 10 minutes left to play here in the second period.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson, he's seen 21 shots this evening, and he's given up a couple goals. You know, he's gotten a couple lucky breaks with some pucks hitting the pipe, but he's been very steady in the goal here this evening, and he's even made some stand on your head type saves. So he's definitely been, you know, the difference maker of keeping Owatonna in this game here this evening.
Couldn't have said it better. Face-off won by the Zephyrs, tipped out front by Dulac, just squirted wide. And now down and around, Olin plays it up through center. Sam Ide takes over for the Zephyrs as he plays it up now, and a good step up that time by Olin. Played off the wall. Bartholomew tries to throw a big hit. The Husky player was able to duck out of it. And now through center. Smith tried to get it deep. Ide broke it up. Now Ide plays over to Pearson. Pearson tried to center, but Peterson picks that one off. He'll send it in deep, and now Pearson again from behind his own net. Wenzel is on him. He's taken down by Ide. Sent into the corner. Mahtomedi now through center. Dulac. Now the Huskies through center. Opportunity here as Smith hands off to Wenzel. Wenzel, a shot that was deflected by Pearson. Now from the point, that one's just wide on the hammer from Nelson. Good opportunity back the other way as Paradise catches up to it, but a better play that time by Walker Nelson to break up the play. Bagley now from behind his own net. He'll play it up the half wall. And out through center come the Zephyrs now. Onto the stick of McCarver inside. McCarver with a beautiful goal as he goes 5-hole on Johnson. 3-1 now. Mahtomedi leads it halfway through this second period.
Yeah, Cole McCarver there with his 9th goal of the season. Just flat out beat Ryan Johnson there. And Ryan Johnson, there wasn't really much he can do. I mean, as you see here, McCarver just skates around the defender and just, you know, splits the 5-hole there on Johnson. And like I said, that's a 3-1 lead now with 8 minutes left here in the second period. And, you know, with Owatonna having some difficulties finding scoring opportunities, and it kind of seems like Mahtomedi is starting to settle in here. They could be starting to create a little gap in the score here as this period goes on.
McCarver turns on the Jets as he crosses the blue line, and he had caught Olin flat-footed. Left Johnson out to dry as he goes 5-hole, and it's a 2-goal Mahtomedi lead now. Just under 8 minutes left to play in the second period, and Mahtomedi 22 shots on net. And they lead it 3-1 thus far.
Yeah, that was junior defenseman Mason Olin that McCarver beat on that last goal. And you know, as a goaltender, that's tough when your defenseman just gets outbeat by the skater there, by the forward. You know, like I said, one-on-one more times than not, you know, the forward or the skater, you know, wins that battle.
Mahtomedi now goes back to work. Turned over at the blue line here as Kenny Johnson steps onto the ice. And again, back come the Zephyrs, is broken up here. Now Neal into the corner for Mahtomedi. Neal tries to go far side, and it's broken up there by Peterson. Back to play it for Mahtomedi is Tommy Broughton. Good forecheck that time by Peterson. Now out through center, comes all the way far side onto the stick of Noah Skillings, and he'll send it in deep. Johnson plays it up the half wall, but Lallier is there for Mahtomedi. And they're able to hold the zone. Wenzel, who's logged a lot of ice time thus far, is back on the ice for the Huskies. You gotta wonder when this kid's motor is gonna start to slow down.
Yeah, and you know, when you're looking at it and you've been watching Owatonna here, you know, he's obviously their main scoring threat, and you know, Mahtomedi's done a good job of kind of taking him out of the equations, and it's time for you know, some other guys to step up here and just, you know, other than Colin Peterson, really no one has, you know, created any opportunity for themselves here.
Back the other way now, Stojkovic sends it deep. As Pearson is in the corner for Mahtomedi. Lallier comes in to help. And he'll send it over to Ide. Now Ide through center. He'll send it into the corner. Johnson back behind his net to hold. As Henderson will play it all the way through center, and it's tipped down into the corner by Nate Smith. Ide puts on the brakes. He's met immediately by Meyer. Again, Mahtomedi, 2 men on the puck this entire period, have just kind of outplayed the Huskies. Opportunity back the other way. Pilarski sends it over, and a shot is high and wide by Tommy Paradise.
That was a great give and go opportunity there by Mahtomedi, and Paradise just overshot the net up top. But like I said, good offensive hockey there by Mahtomedi.
Again, they continue to have 2 men on the puck, centered out front. Johnson with the save, and again able to get a glove on it. Big save by Ryan Johnson to keep this a 2-goal game. His point blank, he had to come up big twice.
Yeah, that's just him against the world type situation there, where he makes a great save, and then, you know, he's got to stay focused, and he's able to glove that second one. Great job by Ryan Johnson, and like I said, he's had a heck of a night this evening.
5:05 left to play, second period. Owatonna's forced to send it around. No icing as it was tipped at center by Kenny Johnson. Now up through center, but back to play it is Olin for the Huskies. As Mahtomedi's really applying some pressure here this period. As again, Johnson's forced to cover. As Sam Ide was, or excuse me, that was Bartholomew coming in with some speed.
Yeah, in this type of game here, you know, we've seen it many times where, you know, you've got Mahtomedi out shooting Owatonna 24-7. Owatonna's just looking for a break. They're looking for a loose puck, some kind of a breakaway situation, because they're not just all of a sudden going to come out in the third period and outshoot these guys 15-3 or something and get back in this thing. You know, usually, you know, the shots on goal and the pace of play still stays the same. Owatonna's just looking for a little puck luck and a break here.
And you can see now the stamina of the Huskies is starting to wear a little bit, as Mahtomedi has been applying all the pressure in this second period, and it's shown. 2-goal lead. Both coming in this second period here with 4.5 minutes left to play inside. It was Dulac, but unable to bury it home. Now sent to the point as Pearson comes away with it. Out through center, Bartholomew had it tipped off his stick. And now back the other way come Thurnau as he's held up there. Kicked around now into the corner, just wide of the net. And it's sent all the way back, played down into the corner that time by Nelson. Up in the slot, but Bartholomew was able to get in front of that one as he comes back the other way through center now. And a nice hip check that time by Walker Nelson to slow down Bartholomew. From the corner, Mahtomedi comes away with it, tries to center. Bartholomew has it go just up and over the net. This time fired around by Dulac. Upcoming penalty on the Huskies. As that one's played around, no goal immediately called by the head official, Danny Delmonico. Played with a high stick, but it will be a Mahtomedi power play upcoming here once we sort out this whistle.
Yeah, one thing that's been tough here for the Huskies is, as you can see as we take a look at the last.
He didn't miss by much on that one, was Nikolai Dulac.
But when Owatonna, oh, there it is.
Now you can see it was played with a high stick, but Walker Nelson ends up going into the penalty box for Owatonna. And so Mahtomedi will go on their first power play here tonight. A 3-1 lead, 3.5 left to play here in the second period.
Yeah, what I was getting at that last whistle there before we took a look at that replay was when Owatonna does get a scoring opportunity, right away it just becomes transition fast break there by Mahtomedi, where they just end up on these 3-on-2s and 2-on-1s just right out of the break, and Owatonna just doesn't have an answer for Mahtomedi's speed here this evening.
Power play is flying around right now as a turnover here. Opportunity the other way. Nate Smith all alone, and a big save that time by Campbell. And Smith was able to break free. He had Tommy Broughton all over him. Back the other way come the Paradise for the Zephyrs as he gets it deep. Hagstrom now from the corner, and it's picked up by McCarver. Sent out front, but the Huskies are able to play it out to center. And that's where it's picked up by Broughton. As he'll head man to Paradise as he'll step into the zone. Paradise now backside shot right on. And Johnson able to come up with another big save for Owatonna.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about there, Jeb. We were talking about, you know, Owatonna isn't going to come out and just outshoot them in the third period, 15-3. They need a luck, or they need an opportunity, and here it was, the second leading scorer there by of Owatonna. Nate Smith had a breakaway, great opportunity. You know, he did everything he could, and it was just a great save there by Campbell. And like I said, that's there was an opportunity missed this evening for Owatonna. It was just there.
Now Owatonna here as Wenzel sent it to length of the ice. Campbell comes out to slow it down, and it's picked up by Jeff Neal. Neal will leave it behind now for Skillings. 2 minutes left to play, 30 seconds left in the power play for the Zephyrs. 3-1 they lead it here through two out front. And a nice backhand by Bartholomew just went high. Now it's sent around by Ide. Bartholomew will play it back to the point where Skillings sends it over, shot right on. Johnson able to hold. We get a whistle with 1:41 left to play.
Yeah, this would be a key or a penalty kill if Owatonna can get out of this without giving up a goal against Mahtomedi. I mean, they've struggled, you know, stopping Mahtomedi, creating scoring chances, just playing 5-on-5 hockey, and for them to kill this penalty here down a man, that's a momentum changer there.
Sent into the corner now. Mahtomedi goes back to work. Shot is high that time. And now sent right back down. Final seconds tick off here. A good kill by the Huskies as it's played back to center. Skillings will send it rink wide onto the stick of Duxon, who gets it in deep for Mahtomedi. First one on it is McCarver, and he's met there immediately by Wenzel. Out front, an opportunity here, and again, Johnson comes up with a big save. Wenzel sends it down, and back to play it is Skillings for Mahtomedi. Up through center onto the stick of McCarver. Sent back door, and a good stick poke-check there by Johnson again for the Huskies. Peterson plays it up now onto the stick of Oland. Oland tried to shoot through Bagley, who got a looked to be an ankle on it, and he was shaken up momentarily on the play. Final 40 seconds here. Shot from the point is steered aside by Campbell. Into the corner they go to work. Final 30 seconds here. Far side now, 2-on-2. Taken into the zone, and just a step early were the Zephyrs. Offsides is called.
Yeah, that was one of the cleaner looks that Owatonna has had this evening. Was Mitchell Weiss there, the senior defenseman. Put a good shot on the net there, and Campbell answered again. You know, he's only seen 9 this evening, but when the opportunities come, he's made the save.
And for netminders, sometimes that can be more challenging, standing down at the other end of the ice and only seeing a couple of shots ever so often. We've talked about it already now through 2 periods. The one goal that Owatonna has banged in thus far was far from Campbell's fault or being out of position. It was just a nice play by the Huskies on the bing bang boom power play goal. So that'll do it after 2 periods of play. Mahtomedi comes out flying in the second. They lead it by a score of 3-1. We will be back with our Coach's Corner coming up next, an interview with the head coach of the North St. Paul Polars, Damian Johnson. Stay tuned.
Hi everybody, welcome here inside the gym here at North High School. No, this is not the latest fashion statement in the wrap around my head. I did sustain a little cut last night, but that's neither here nor there. It's time for Coach's Corner. We're here this time on the basketball court, joined here today by Mr. Damian Johnson, new head coach here of North High School.
How you doing? How you doing?
Doing well. Could you tell us a little bit about your background and your experience here with basketball?
Yeah, so over the past few years I've been playing basketball overseas, NBA Development League, coaching at Eden Prairie High School as an assistant coach for a while, and some might know I played at U of M. So I mean, the last about 10 years I've been really busy, where basketball has become more of a job than just a fun thing, but it's a job I enjoy.
So let's talk about the decision to get into coaching. What led you to go into that path?
I just love basketball, so I just didn't want to get away from it. So I'm not playing anymore, so coaching is the best way to stick to it.
So you mentioned that you went to Eden Prairie for a little bit of time. Now you're here in your first season as the head coach of North. When you accepted the offer in May, what led you to choose this program to be the basketball coach?
I applied to a few other positions, and I mean, when it came down to everything, when I got a chance to meet some of the kids and be around everyone, I thought this was a good fit for me. I mean, the guys kind of have my personality already, and they're starting to, you're starting to see it a little bit on the court where they're getting more and more comfortable with my system. So it was just great. It was a great opportunity for me, and I just saw, a sleeping giant that I'm ready to try to wake up.
As you mentioned, as we were just talking here, you've been a member of the University of Minnesota Golden Gopher basketball team from 2007 to 2010.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of lessons at the University of Minnesota do you take into your coaching style and how you train your players?
Coach Smith, Tubby Smith, he taught me a lot. He was a lot different than me as a coach. He was a real hardcore and was tough. He was one of those old school type coaches, and I kind of took some of the things that he has, as far as focusing on making people better citizens, whereas, I'm really working with the kids on being better members of the school and just focusing on the academic and outside of basketball aspect. And that's stuff I'm really bringing over to North. And as far as defensively, he was a defensive coach, and I love defense, so I'm bringing some of his principles also here to North.
So following your graduation from the University of Minnesota, you went to the Southeastern Australian Basketball League. Talk about your experience over there in Australia.
Oh, Australia was great. I mean, it was great to see another culture. Just, I always thought I kind of had people tell me that Australian toilets flush differently and everything, so I kind of bought into that. But getting a chance to see everything for myself, it was great. I was kind of fearful of snakes and spiders because I watched Discovery Channel a lot, so the deadly animals, Australia's always on there. So it was just great to get a chance to experience everything they have and some of the, visit some of their sites.
So let's switch now from your experience on the basketball court to your players' experience. For those of us who haven't watched the North Polars play this year, describe your team's style of play. What do we see when we see the Polars?
We're a scrappy, up-tempo bunch. We try to push the pace, pick up, press a lot. We worked very hard in the off-season to get in great shape, get in great condition. So we're utilizing our team depth, and we're trying to play fast, press, and use all our advantages we have. We're a very athletic team.
A lot of talent on your team certainly so far. Who are some of the players who have stood out to you?
Good news, Capigo, he's been great. He's doing everything he has to. He's one of our leaders. He leads the team in scoring. He's actually making a good conscious effort to focus on other aspects of his game that was really his weaknesses. I kind of challenge him on that every day. DeJuan Carter, he's been a surprise for me these past few weeks. He's just stepping it up each game. And Brendan Lakeford Johnson, he's like one of our heart and soul. He's the guy that's going to do all the small things. Him and Khalil Golden, they do all the little things that's going to get us over the edge. So those two guys with good news, DeJuan and Bryce Phillips, one of our team captains, those guys going to help us get to where we need to go. So we're a deep bunch. I'll sit here and list all my players because I think all of them bring something different to the team, where they all are important pieces. So, it's great to have some of those guys really keep stepping their games up each week.
So your team has been ranked inside or around the top 10 in Class 4A in the state of Minnesota for a good portion of the year. How much does your coaching look into that rankings? Do the players talk about it? How does it affect their style of play?
I like using it as motivation because, you know, beginning of the year we were outside the top 20, so I use that to kind of fuel them, let them know that, you know, we're the underdogs. No one's looking at North basketball as the same way they look at Cretin or Hopkins. So it's time for us to try to get to that level and push each other each day to try to get to that level. Right now we're 10, but I mean, why be satisfied with 10 when you could be number 1?
Let's take a look back again at your playing career. Are there any moments either that you played in or that your players have played in so far that have really stuck with you as something to take with you in your road in basketball?
I mean, one of the moments that kind of helped me as a coach was beating Wisconsin at Wisconsin. We were down, well, I think 14 with 4 minutes to go, and we could have easily gave up and cave in, but we just kept fighting back, and we were at Wisconsin, which is impossible to win anyway. So we fought back, and we played against the refs, everything, and it helped us persevere. And here, we have times where the players think the refs are against them, and I let them know you can't buy into that, man. You got to fight no matter what, and it's been a helpful tool for me coaching, just letting them know that we got to stick to the game plan. We can't let nothing get to us, and we got to keep fighting no matter what's the score.
And the last question for you before we let you go. Any advice that you would have to an aspiring coach looking to get into this profession?
Believe in yourself, man. You always got to believe in yourself, trust what you're doing, but always be willing to be open to other people's perspectives. You know, now I have a system now I plan on running, but at the same time I ask as many coaches as possible with their feedback, with some of the things they see we could improve on, some of the stuff that they use each day, and I think it's been helping out a lot.
Awesome. Well, Coach, thanks for joining us, and best of luck the rest of the way to the Polars.
Yeah, thanks for the interview.
And from one former Gopher to another former Gopher in the studio, this is your home for North basketball here on SEC Sports.
And welcome back to the St. Croix Valley Rec Center after 2 periods of play. Your Mahtomedi Zephyrs lead it by a score of 3-1. A huge thanks to head coach Damian Johnson of the North St. Paul Polars. Alongside Corey Franzmeyer, I'm Jeb Brand. Glad to have you with us here tonight on a beautiful Thursday evening. Some high school hockey as we take a look at the Class 4A QRF rankings, where Mahtomedi Zephyrs are currently in second behind Hermantown, who seems to always find themselves at the top of these rankings.
Yeah, you know, they've been in numerous championships in a row here over the last few years, but you know, what I've been hearing is there's it's a lot more wide open this year. I mean, Hermantown's still number 1, but they're not as unbeatable, if you'll say, as they have been in the past. Mahtomedi has been a team, you know, kind of on the hunt the last few years. St. Cloud Cathedral's always a good team. You know, Greenway, for years they were in AA, and they've always kind of been a power up north there, but you know, they've gone down to single A now, and now they've kind of worked their way into the top 5 of Class A.
Yeah, it's good to see St. Cloud Cathedral. We got a sneak peek at this year at our Hockey Day Minnesota that was hosted up in St. Cloud, and obviously last year they had a state tournament appearance and opened some eyes. So exciting Class A hockey. It'll be interesting to see if our Zephyrs can find their way back down to the XL Energy Center come early March.
You know, one thing that I see in the rankings that's kind of, you know, inner city team there. You've got the Minneapolis Co-op team has made their way up to number 12 in the state, and you know, I think they've got about a 12-10 record, but they've beaten some decent teams, and you know, like I said, it's kind of good to see that the inner city's still alive and well when it comes to hockey in the Twin Cities here.
On that note, Simile and South St. Paul right next to each other, 9 and 10 on the QRF rankings, and only a few blocks away that separate the boundary lines. And it's good to see that those 2 schools still have strong programs, and right in the middle of the pack is certainly a good sign for Class A hockey. We'll be back after this, after 2, Mahtomedi 3, Owatonna 1. Stay tuned. Our highlights are coming up next.
Listen. All it took was someone who would insist that I just try.
Suddenly, everything was turned around because they judge you.
You tell them I don't need this.
No one is going to understand.
Unless they've been through it, how can they?
Then one day you realize
You feel so hopeless.
I need help. I need help.
You feel so hopeless.
Then one day you realize
Unless they've been through it, how can they understand?
I don't need this.
No one's going to judge you.
suddenly everything was turned around because they insist that I just try.
All it took was someone who would just
Listen.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
What's up? What's happening today?
Brazil's pearly whites, man.
Yeah. The boys, check it. Stand up to my chair, it's gonna compare us. Go.
Ooh, cute.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
Hey girl, what's up? What's the name? What's good? What's up?
What's happening? How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir. See ya, buddy. Today, Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Wacha. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
And welcome back to the St. Croix Valley Rec Center alongside Corey Franzmeyer. I'm Jet Brand. Two periods of play, in the books. The Zephyrs hold on to a 3-1 lead over the visiting Huskies from Owatonna.
Yeah, it's been all Mahtomedi on the offensive end, out shooting Owatonna 31-10. But going into the third period, it's 3-1. It's still a game, and as long as Ryan Johnson for Owatonna continues to play fantastic in that and keep them in this game, anything can really happen.
We take a look at some highlights from our first two periods of play as Colin Peterson got the Huskies on the board early in that first period on a beautiful backhand feed by the defenseman, number 12, Mitchell Weiss.
Yeah, that was a great goal there by Colin Peterson, the sophomore, for his first goal of the season.
Mahtomedi applied lots of pressure, and it took all the way to late in the first period before the senior Sam Ide was able to bury the backdoor rebound for the Zephyrs. And
Charlie Bartholomew's 11th goal of the season. was a pretty easy little one move and a backhand to beat Ryan Johnson.
McCarver knocks in the next one, and that's where we stand, 3-1 through 2. Now the start of our third period as icing's called right out the gate. Face-off will come to the right of Campbell, the netminder for Mahtomedi. Only seen 10 shots through 2 periods. Has been pretty solid all night in nets other than the Peterson goal where they found him back door. Deflected out front here now. Opportunity. Springs the man inside. McCarver tried to go to the backhand. Rolled off his stick and again fired out front. Looks like the net was bumped off the Mornings, and so we get a quick whistle.
But another situation there. Ryan Johnson, a nice save to start off the third period here, and that gives him 29 saves on the game, and he's still got 17 minutes left in the nets here tonight.
Duxon and McCarver there, and a couple of nice bing passes sent McCarver in deep and nearly made this a 3-goal game. Sent around now where Duxon's there for Mahtomedi as he sends it into the corner. Lallier tries to center, and it's sent right back in to the corner where Meyer tries to play it all the way up. Knocked down out front. Now Munns has it taken off of his stick. Back behind the net comes the Huskies. This is Breck Henderson to play it through center. Mahtomedi. McCarver drops for Lallier. Lallier fires. Johnson got a piece of it. Ide holds the zone. Duxon's tied up on the far side now by Weiss. And it's kicked into the corner. Now Wenzel will play it over to Smith. Back come the Huskies through center. Smith fires one on, but Campbell gloves and holds. 15:36 left to play. Third period, Mahtomedi leads it by a score of 3-1.
Yeah, Owatonna's going to have to, create some opportunity here in the third period. I mean, like I said, 32-11 outshot here. Unless they capitalize on some loose pucks or different things like that, I think it's going to be a hard time for them to create some good, legit offense here in the third period against this high-powered Mahtomedi club.
Mahtomedi, a little miscommunication there, but able to clear the zone. As now Neal through center. Neal fires one on, and it's stirred aside by Johnson. Now out of the corner. It's picked up here, sent out front, and Johnson's able to smother that one and hold on for the whistle. 34 shots for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs to just 11 for Owatonna. But it still remains only a 2-goal game here with plenty of time left in the third period. Mahtomedi wins it. Dulac races to the puck, try to catch Bartholomew back door. This one sent all the way back through center as Tommy Broughton will play it down and around to Noah Skillings. Far side, it's picked up there. Dulac now enters the zone. Hands off to Paradise, tries to go back to Dulac. And it's held in by the Mahtomedi defense. Paradise now has it knocked off his stick, but in the hold the zone was Skillings. And Wenzel will send it down and around the length of the ice. This will be icing on Owatonna. Face-off will come to the right of Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, a lot of Owatonna's bread and butter here is low-scoring games, good defense, good goaltending. A lot of their games are 3-2, 3-1 type games, and that's what they're in right now. And they just gotta figure out a way to capitalize on some situations here to get back in the game. But Mahtomedi, like I said, they might if they continue to do what they're going to do here, they're going to, create scoring opportunity and put a couple more in here before it's all said and done.
D-to-D pass now. It's sent around. Just tipped on into the corner. Mahtomedi comes back the other way. Played through center. And Mahtomedi steps up into the play. This is Stoker who gets it in deep. Now tried to go back door, and Paradise unable to get a stick on it. as Hagstrom tried to center. Out of the reach of Johnson. Comes all the way back where Stoker will play. He goes down and around his own net. Now he'll play it up the half wall just out of the reach. It's fired right back in by DeHaan. And now up through center here as it's turned over. Now Mahtomedi comes back as Paradise plays it up. And kicked around through center. Able to hold on to it. A nice job there by Walker Nelson as he took a blindside hit and stays on the puck. Smith now plays it all the way back. Nelson fires wide. It's picked up now by Pilarski. Pilarski sends it through center, and that hops the stick of Paradise. It's sent back in by Smith, excuse me. Now a shot here, and it hits the post. A good opportunity there by McCarver, looking for his second. Johnson again is bailed out by the iron. McCarver plays it in low, tries to go far side for Pearson, and now flipped up through neutral zone, and it's picked up by Aiden Pearson. He'll play it down and around Sam Ide. Now Ide has it taken away by Wenzel, and a Wenzel shot is right in but wide, and takes a heavy hit from Sam Ide. Good opportunity there by Tyler Wenzel, but just missed.
Yeah, that was probably the best scoring opportunity Wenzel's had this evening. The Huskies' leading goal scorer on the season with 13 goals.
Wenzel now again will fire it up as Peterson picks it up, tried to center. Sam Ide broke that one up. Now taken in by Jeff Neal. Into the corner, Neal tries to center, and they score. Nice play by Jeff Neal, and able to bury it and make it a 3-goal game was number 15, Sam Jensen, the senior for the Zephyrs.
Yeah, great job, as you can see here. Coming on in and just feeds Jensen, and he just goes top shelf on Ryan Johnson. That's Sam Jensen's second goal on the season, and that could be the dagger there with a 3-goal lead, out shooting Owatonna 36-11. That's a mighty, mighty hill to climb here with 11 minutes left in the game there, Jeff.
You said it, just his second goal of the year, and a good spot for Sam Jensen. Planted out front, was able to beat Johnson high. 4-1 now, Mahtomedi comfortably over the Huskies. 11 minutes left to play in the hockey game as Mahtomedi again holds the zone. Skilling sends it down and around. Guzzo's the first one on it for Mahtomedi. He'll play it low to Neal. Now attempt to center is knocked back into the corner, but Guzzo's there. Kicked around a bit, and now the Huskies take it through center. And gonna have to tag up now as both players were offsides. And offsides is eventually blown dead here. 10:25 left to play. Mahtomedi leads at 4-1 here.
Yeah, that was a great goal there by Jensen to go top shelf on Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson's had a spectacular evening. Neal came in and, no defender on him, and he just makes a great pass to the wide open Jensen. And there wasn't much, Ryan Johnson can do on that one. He put it in a spot that would have been, something miraculous to save.
Just over 10 minutes left to play now. Mahtomedi continues to apply the pressure as Bartholomew's tied up down behind the net. Puck squirts out. Now a tip opportunity out front. Just missed, and the Huskies got numbers coming back the other way as that one sneaks in. They had to touch up, or they would have been offsides as Skilling's now through center to Bartholomew. Bartholomew backdoor, shot right on, and a good glove save by Johnson. Now Miller from the far side. He sends it down low, and it's picked up there by Broughton. Bratton hands off to Skillings. Dulac through center, trying to hit Bartholomew. And it's played back and around by the Huskies. Turnover here as Bartholomew's met immediately. And now backdoor play. And Dulac to Bartholomew. Pretty goal, and the captain taps in his second of the night.
Yeah, great goal. That was just great teamwork there. You can see the pass in there. Gets on the stick of Gulak, and he finds Bartholomew. Not much Johnson can do there, just a lot of talent out in front of the net, and he was just basically out on an island by himself doing whatever he could to get in front of that puck, and Bartholomew was able to bury it for his second this evening and number 12 on the season.
And so the Zephyrs in the relentless pursuit of pressure continues to pay off now as they lead it 5-1 with 9 minutes left to play. And again in tight, Johnson's able to poke-check it away. Peterson for the Huskies sends it low. Stojakovic in the corner has it turned over, back the other way. With speed comes Hagstrom. Hagstrom's got Pilarski with him. The shot never made it in on Johnson. Now Wenzel will send it down and around the length of the ice. Icing will be called here with 8.5 left to play. Mahtomedi 5, Owatonna 1.
Yeah, Mahtomedi taking on St. Cloud Cathedral on Saturday. That should be a great test. They looked all the bit of being the number 2 team in Class A tonight. You know, they've got fast skaters. They create a lot of scoring opportunities. And you know, Campbell wasn't heavily tested this evening, but you know, he's done what he's had to do to keep the goal out of the net for the Zephyrs.
Offsides is called here as it's touched a tad early. Face-off will come right out in front of the Huskies bench. As Lallier will take it for the Zephyrs. And he'll win it back over Kubicek of Owatonna. Shot is high and wide that time. And now Lallier tries to center. Picked up there by Weiss, and he'll send it back down and around for Henderson. Now up the half wall, just out of the reach. Bounced around a bit. Now back the other way. Mahtomedi, tough angle shot. Johnson's able to smother that one in hold as McCarver threw it on net from a tough angle. And Ryan Johnson was there to make the save.
Yeah, when you think about you know, Mahtomedi skaters this evening, you know, I think you know, Cole McCarver, the juniors, had a fantastic evening. Bartholomew with his 2 goals, and Nikolai Dulac. So all the top-notch players on the stat sheet for Mahtomedi have showed up this evening and performed well.
Jensen out front there nearly got a tip on that shot from the point, as he's able to find the score sheet tonight, his second of the year. 7.5 left to play. Mahtomedi continues to apply the pressure. Back to the point, eyed off balance there, sent it in. It tipped into the corner, and now out through center. Miller tried to tap it around, Smith, excuse me. And now into the zone, and it's tipped away by Johnson. Played up the half wall, but Jensen's there to hold the zone. Tipped around now, and out through center is Meyer. And now Sam Ide for Mahtomedi will headman the puck. Good one-touch pass, but it was just behind Neal. Ide from his own end as he'll play it up to Guzzo. Through center, Guzzo tries to get it deep. And now Nelson for the Huskies as he's upended there. Back Tyler Wenzel now behind his own net. He'll play it up through center, and that one's tipped up and out of play. 6.5 left to go. 5-1 Mahtomedi comfortably over the Owatonna Huskies.
Yeah, and you know, 40 shots to 12. You know, I mean, it's right there on the scoreboard, Jeb. 5-1 hometown team, 40 shots to 12. Owatonna's had a great effort this evening. They're doing well in their conference. You know, they're about a 500 club, but I think the number 2 team in Class A has just been a little too much for them this evening.
Yeah, they've battled hard tonight, the Huskies have, but again, just a little too much pressure by the Zephyrs, and there's a reason why they're ranked second in the standings. And it's efforts like this. Came out a little flat-footed. Owatonna got on the board early. The Zephyrs' relentless pursuit of pressure eventually was a little too much thus far for the Huskies. Bartholomew plays it up to Dulac. Good stick handling. Tried to go back door. Just out of the reach of Hagstrom. But a nice job to get to the net was the young sophomore as Johnson straight on. Able to hold. You can see Nikolai Dulac, only a sophomore. Some pretty hands there, and certainly if you're head coach Jeff Poschel, you've got good things ahead for another couple of years.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those things when you think of a team and, you know, are they championship caliber? Well, the thing is about Mahtomedi is they're up 5-1 right now, and you know they've dominated this game, but they haven't taken their foot off the pedal. You know, they're still playing hard, they're still skating hard, and they're still trying to put the puck in the net. You know, it looks like a good, hard-working team with a lot of talent. So I think the sky's the limit for this team this year.
Stoker now from behind his own net puts on the brakes. They send it around, but it's out of the reach, and it's sent down into the corner. Now out front, and it's kicked around, but two Mahtomedi players were there. Pilarski comes back the other way with it. Tries to center, but just a little bit behind Tommy Paradise. And now back come the Huskies, but Kubicek steps in a step early as Kenny Johnson was off sides, and just under 5 minutes left to play now. Take a look here as Johnson upended there a little bit. Contact from Pilarski. It sent Mitchell Weiss right into Ryan Johnson, and that's how players get hurt.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson's probably sitting there going, I've seen 41 shots, I've saved 36 of them, and now I got my own guys falling into my legs.
Taking my knees out.
It's been a heck of a night for him tonight.
He appears to be just fine, which is good to see, especially for all of the Husky fans out there. Now Mahtomedi tried to go far side. It's picked off there. Picked up by Miller. And the behind the pass, back pass did not work that time for Nate Miller. Smith, excuse me. Far side now, Smith through center ice. He'll hand off there. Shot deflected into the corner as Nelson with the attempt. And this one's tipped up into the bleachers. Quick stoppage in play. 4:11 left to play.
Yeah, one thing about this Owatonna team now that we've seen them for the first time, I'm kind of curious to see. I'm going to take a look in the standings after they play Rochester Century on Saturday. You know, Rochester Century's 2-0 in their conference and 17-3 overall, and you know, one of the higher end teams in AA. It'll be interesting to see how these guys fare against Rochester over the weekend. You know, see how they compete against kind of teams in their own, you know, area of the state. So it'll be a fun one to check out.
Duxon with a shot right on, and Johnson able to make the save. Face-off would come to the right of Ryan Johnson. It's won by the Huskies and played into the corner. Now Duxon from inside is able to get a shot off. That hit the side of the net. Ide is there to hold the zone. Now from the corner, it's played all the way around. Both McCarver and Weiss battle a little bit. Officials let him play. Play goes on. Now out front. Carver's tied up. Back door. All alone was Lallier, and somehow Johnson was able to make the save. That looked to be an open net for Lallier, but Johnson somehow able to come up with it. A beautiful save, and that just goes to show both teams playing hard to the end of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. As we take another look at another great save by Johnson, tonight, you know, I've been really impressed with this kid this evening. You know, 38 saves against one of the better teams in Class A. You know, the kid's done everything he can to keep the Huskies in the game, and we should take our hats off to his efforts this evening.
Upcoming penalty here coming on the Huskies now. Looks like we've got a hook, and that's going to go against Walker Nelson, the senior for the Huskies.
Yeah, that's probably the last thing the Huskies want to see tonight. Is now having to kill a penalty here with 3 minutes left, and you know, a game that's been heavily dominated by the strong skating of the Zephyrs.
Head coach Jeff Poschel elects to go with Joe Paradise, Bartholomew, Dallas Duxon, and then a couple of defensemen. Duxon will play it back to Skillings, who sends one in. Johnson able to hold.
Yeah, on the Mahtomedi end, we were just talking about who the next matchup is for Owatonna. You know, they get a possible state tournament style game on Saturday against St. Cloud Cathedral. They head up north to take on them, so that should be kind of fun to see how that one shakes out on Saturday there, Jeff.
Absolutely. Interesting to see who comes away with the W in that matchup. Right in the slot as Dulac had it trickle off his stick. Now Mahtomedi tries to go back to work. Bartholomew hops a hit there as puck's tied up on the half wall. Played all the way over now. Skillings down low to Dulac, back to Skillings. As he fires one in, that's tipped high. And now puck was played with a high stick. Mahtomedi ends up tapping her dead. That'll come all the way out of the zone for the face-off. 2:21 left to play in the hockey game. A minute 12 left in the Zephyr power play. Owatonna got away with a little free penalty kill there as Mahtomedi with a bit of a brain fart. Played it with a high stick, and then none of them wanted to touch it. I think the Huskies said, sure, we'll kill off some ice time without having to do anything there.
Yeah, I was kind of, you know, looking forward to see, you know, just some good skilled puck handling by Mahtomedi. I was kind of hoping they would kind of move the puck around and kind of work on their power play a little bit there to see what they had. But like I said, a foolish mistake there, and now we're here.
Just under 2 minutes left to play, 40 seconds left in the power play. The Zephyrs comfortable 5-1 lead over the Huskies. As Pilarski out of the corner, and now it's sent up high and off the glass. This will trickle all the way down. Campbell will play it out. Broughton will pick up and headman for the Zephyrs. McCarver now from the corner. He's tied up there. And it's sent the length of the ice now by Henderson. Campbell will leave it behind. All the way up through center. This is Neal. He tried to center. That was tipped into the corner. Now behind the net. It's picked up by Weiss as he plays it through center, just out of the reach of Johnson. And icing is called as the Huskies are back to full strength. Less than a minute left to play. 5-1, Mahtomedi leads it.
Yeah, it's been all Mahtomedi here this evening. 5-1, 44 shots now to Owatonna's 13. And like I said, this team's playing the right way, with the right style, with the right effort at the right time of the year, Jeb, as we head into section playoffs and then a possible state tournament berth for this Zephyr team. It should be really exciting to see how you know, the next few weeks play out for this Zephyr team.
Certainly will. Only about a week and some change left of regular season play, and then we'll start getting into our conference finals and eventually the section finals, and then the coveted dream of all the high school hockey players to find their way down to the XL Energy Center in early March for the state tournament. 35 seconds left here in the game. Behind the net As Kubicek comes away with it, he'll head man through center. That was just out of the reach of third now. No icing called. Out through center again come the Zephyrs now. Neal into the corner. Tries to make his way out front. A good defensive play that time by Weiss. And sent right through the crease. As we're in on the final 5 seconds here. Sent out front. Played up and off the glass. And that will do it. So Owatonna travels north to take on your Mahtomedi Zephyrs, but falls short. Mahtomedi with a final 5. The Owatonna Huskies won. That'll do it from all of us here at SCC Sports. From Corey Franzmeyer, I'm Jeff Brand. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.